following content is unscripted and definitely will offend your precious feelings. Viewer discretion is advised. Greetings, one and all, and welcome to Mornings of Mischief. I'm your host, Stone Loki. Good morning, everybody. Normally, I am here alone on these Wednesday shows, a chance to share my experiences and my thoughts on YouTube. But this morning, ladies and gentlemen, I have a wonderful guest that I wanted to talk about his trip through YouTube, and that is the one and only Culture Casino. Good morning, my friend.
Good morning. Wow, I'm honored and privileged to be here with 100% more Culture Casino on a Wednesday, and my story's not unique. I think you will all find that out very shortly. But thank you for the invite, Loki. I really appreciate it, my friend. It's great to see you again.
It is great to see you, and thank you, sir, for being here. Thank you so very much. Culture accepted this invite at the last minute. I was like, thinking maybe next week or the week after that, and he accepted and jumped right into this, and I really appreciate that. Thank you. Tell us all how you got here.
It's a strange trip, man. The boss and I. Okay, so I still do. I have multiple different accounts, right? I used to, scan content depending upon what account I was on. I would see people's notifications, and I've been doing that for years. So, I found my way into the fellowship like a lot of people. I didn't see things the same way as the entertainment industry did. I was wondering if I was alone, and so. Whether you call that confirmation bias or not, I went looking for people who had similar opinions. It wasn't that hard to find. So, of course, you stumble across the big three at the time, which, of course, was G&G, D-Day Cobra, and the whole crew there. You stumble across WCBS and the whole crew over there. You of course stumble across Gary, and at that time Gary and Doomcock. So you stumble across all these incredible creators. You realize you don't have you're not really actually searching for confirmation bias. You're finding that there is a very hidden majority of humans that are frustrated with modern day entertainment. And that was my kind of my introduction. So the boss and I would watch again under a different nom de plume, right? Not Culture Casino, but one of the other accounts that I have. And I would listen throughout the day, whether I was at the office or I was out in the field in the vehicle or the car or the truck or whatever. And I was, doing my thing. And at night, the boss and I would sit and watch everybody. And the conversation between the boss and I was, you should really do this. And I was like, I'd love to do this, but when am I going to have time? And we rattled back and forth some ideas. And, I started to put things together, and I'm very methodical. You guys might know this. Before I even started this, I conceived of the name. Before I even started the channel, I'd already incorporated the name before it's just the way I work. And I got everything kind of in order. I registered the name as an actual entity, and I registered a website address, which I haven't built yet, but that's coming. And so I could have my own custom email and the whole 9 yards. So, yeah. So everybody kind of gets there very similarly, but from that point forward, then I went about doing 3-dimensional design for my first logo, which actually you can still see remnants of in the outro that is on every single video I do. And of course, the boss was like, we'll free up some time at the office so that, you can do that, because, I obviously, work in partnership with about everything that we do. And so there's that. So I launched my channel. I want to say my official anniversary of 2 years. No. Yeah. 2 years would have been last month with my very first video. I had exactly 2 views on it. I think I still have like maybe 4 views on it now. But and I think it's unlisted at this point, but it is that's where it starts, right? Is you find other people that sound great. And of course, I was in the streams before I ever did video 1 as this entity, Culture Casino, and just contributing to the streams in any way that I could and supporting the creators who I thought were the best at what they did. And then that expanded to supporting creators that were underappreciated. And then that expanded to helping people get started. And I think that's ultimately where it's kind of the same progression. I think we all kind of follow that, at least in this fellowship, because it turns into helping other people get their start, doing what you can to make sure that they get launched, and if even people that have had, 3 or 4 years of creating content for the pure joy of it, they still aren't where they deserve to be. So you spend time helping them as well. I think that's the thing everybody misses when you do this is you have to help other people. So, yeah. And did I in that giant rambling statement, did I get anywhere close to answering the question?
Yes. And it's funny because did you come in around the time of The Last Jedi, or was it after that?
Okay, so that's what inspired me, right? Was The Last Jedi, right? Is to really get serious about it. And then, we're going into, let's see. We were just before we were about to get into the global crisis, right? That we just had with, the virus thingy, right? So, yeah, well, whatever. But, and it was funny because I'm like, wow, this is going to be a problem. In fact, that was gosh, we headed into just after Halloween. I was having very serious conversations with people about, okay, this is a real thing. It's going to be a real thing. So, get prepared. So in addition to the already preparedness that I had, I and the boss got completely prepared. So we weren't the people struggling for toilet paper or paper towels or,
Oh, yeah.
whether or not there was ramen or any of the other, staples that you would need in a long-term issue. And, to that day that continues to be the case. But, we got prepared for it. And then, of course, I got, like I said, I got started like just a couple of months later. But this had been a plan for quite some time before I actually made it happen. I'm just
Oh yeah.
like that, you know. So.
When Last Jedi happened, I was watching High Council. I was watching all the people you were watching. I was watching Ethan Van Sciver, World Class Bullshitters, Geeks and Gamers, Doomcock. Yeah. In fact, the first time I ever heard of Doomcock was on a High Council stream. I know I'm listening to the High Council. I'm watching the chat, and suddenly everybody Doomcock. I'm like, who the hell is Doomcock? Hello, everybody. And I'm like, holy shit, it was this guy. And he starts talking crap about Star Trek. And I'm like, oh my God, he's saying what we're all feeling.
Yes. Yeah.
And he's saying it very well.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and again, I mean, you know, it's funny also how like loosely some of us have contacts in some of these worlds. And, you know, whether or not you went to school with these people, worked with these people, you know, actually worked alongside some of these people and stuff like that. And they end up in these positions later in life. And, you know, so you still have these contacts built up. And there are a few of us that do, you know, and I don't exploit any of my friends. Some people do, but, you know, I don't, you know, I'll get an inkling of something and I'll say something, but, you know, even without that, you don't need that. You don't need a friend that works at one of these companies. You don't need any of that. You just need to use your eyeballs. I mean, most of my analysis, I mean, you know what I do. This is one of the reasons or how I got started is because there was nobody covering the entertainment the way I was. And now there's a few of us, right? So I started out looking at it from the business perspective, right? How does this make sense? Is this a profitable avenue? Does this align itself with, you know, what this corporation stood for the last 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years, you know, and so I started covering it from that perspective. And now we have a whole host of people doing that. Valiant Renegade, who went by me like I was standing still in the last 6 months. He's one of them, you know, and then there's more. I mean, and then you have what Odin does with the films. I mean, do you watch Odin? OMB?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So yeah, what he does breaking down the box office, I love, right?
I can't do that. I can't do the numbers thing. I'm really shitty at it. I mean, I could be like, oh, they threw away $180 billion doing blah blah blah. Yeah. But besides that, I'm not the numbers guy. It's just not me.
Well, and again, I mean, everybody has their forte, right? But I like I said, I like what he does. I like the way he does. So I really enjoy it. What's up, Floral? I really enjoy it. And whether or not he and I agree ultimately on how much a film costs or not doesn't matter one bit. I support him to the wall. I love him. I think he's great. And I like the fact that he's like me. He recognizes you don't have to use flowery words to convey your point, you know, or adult words or gamer words, right? I try to limit mine. You know, it takes a lot to get me to say a curse word on my channel. I don't know if you've ever noticed.
I have. I'm more like mouthy. I'm a mouthy kind of guy. It'll pop out. I got it more under control after I got monetized. I got a little more under control. And then I was like, F it, I'm going to do whatever I want anyway. And not worry about whether it gets demonetized or not. Because I was getting demonetized every day anyway, whether I was cursing or not. It was like a daily thing. And every once in a while, the old YouTube algorithm still kicks in and it's like demonetized, and I'm fighting it. Request every single morning, request review, and then it'll stop. So but I try and control it.
Yeah, and fortunately, you know, they just suppress me. They don't actually demonetize me. But I've only been demonetized once in the last 3 months, and that was just about a week ago.
It's horrible when you see that yellow on there. You're like, what did I do? And then I'm like, man, did I really cuss that much? And you think about it and you're like, no, I didn't. I might have dropped an F-bomb here or there, but I didn't like really get into anything bad. Yeah, and sometimes you lose. That's a thing. Sometimes you lose. You're like, man, I didn't do anything worse than I've done on all this other stuff, but I'm not going to tell them that, obviously.
You see, and here's the thing. I mean, the person on the other side of this process is an adult, right? And they either have a bias or they don't. You know, if you demand a manual review, you're supposed to get a human being. So, but no, but you will hear me curse. I mean, you know, in the evening after I've had a glass or two of wine, or, you know, a barley pop, otherwise known as a beer or something. What's up, Lethal? Love you, bro. You know, I'll maybe use some colorful language, but it's well after my mom would have gone to bed. And that's the measuring stick, right? You know, since I've been an adult, has always been, well, would mom appreciate how I just said that? And the answer, if the answer is no, you know, then I usually don't use that language. But in the evenings is a little looser tongue, I think. Best way to describe it.
Do you think that, because lethal makes a very good point here. He says, I'm with Loki, I'd rather get demonetized or nuked. We kind of ride the edge. I had Paulie over at Latino Slant telling me one day, he goes, I don't know how you get away with the shit you do. I'm like, I don't know. I do my show every day. He goes, yeah, but how do you stay monetized? How do you not keep them from pulling down your streams? How do you not keep from getting in trouble? I said, I don't know. Some things I am careful. You know, I say ist ob Yahtzee instead of saying the actual terms. Besides that, I don't cuss that much. I might, like I said, I might drop an occasional F-bomb when I'm really angry at something. But besides that, yeah, there's some topics that I've covered, but we all have talked about that stuff.
Yeah.
All of us talk about that stuff.
Look, I did it yesterday, covertly, right? In an overt way. I did it on purpose. The way I did it was to draw attention to the fact that you can't say certain words on YouTube and remain monetized. So in yesterday's video, which, you know, I just did off the cuff because it was something that, you know, hit. Most of my videos I'll record a few days ahead of time. I now have a couple of editors and all of that help out, which is great. If you have a friend who's better than you are at something, have them do that for you.
Yes.
So, but you know, yesterday I did a video on well, it wasn't moose and squirrel, but it was a bear and squirrel, right? Because I was conveying a point, because you can't say the name of two countries right now and anticipate that your video will remain up or be monetized or anything. And so, you know, because of the way that the censorship works, you have to become creative, and you have to assume you know, that everybody will catch your meaning. And because we have such brilliant audiences here on our channels, Loki, everybody knows what we're talking about. Of course, I think almost everybody knows what we're talking about, but it's bananas. And that's the other difference I've noticed between what we do and what some other people might do. Our assumption is we have a brilliant audience, you know, and we're not wrong, but that's our assumption. We don't start from the place of the audience is stupid. And that's what modern entertainment is now.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Yeah.
So what have you found like the most enriching? We'll go back and forth here. Because
no, it's dude, you don't even have to finish the question. It's everybody here. Do you realize I have made more what I will consider lifelong friendships and you know, and contacts and whatever terminology you want to use, right? I've even met a lot of people in person, including this dude right here is freaking awesome. But I've made more close contacts with people that I respect, like more so than most of the people I've known, you know, as acquaintances in my life. I have been blessed with you and everybody here. I mean, as I slowly get to know people, you know, and then I figure out where they are, and geographically that, you know, we're not that far away, and the opportunities to meet people. Like I'm going to be in Texas. I'm going to be in San Antonio on the Riverwalk for a few days here this month. And believe me, I will do that very shortly. And look, I got to meet this guy, Script Doctor, the coolest Canadian on the planet. The second coolest is also here. His name is what's his name? Fat something or other.
Fat Steven.
Yeah.
Big boy.
Yeah, a couple of just amazing humans, right? That I would not have known otherwise. People I get to hang out with on a regular basis that I appreciate and love. And that's the, you know, look, if you're not coming at it from that position when you start a channel, you know, that everybody is valuable. You know, I don't know why you're doing this. You know, you have to do it for two reasons. One, you love it. And two, you know, you get to hang out with amazing humans, including Echo Base Network. So I guess who I got to meet in Vegas. Well, I know you know this already.
Yes.
I got to hang out with Nick. It wasn't for very long, but it was long enough for me to know, dude, I love all these people. You know, it's the weirdest thing. Fat, I was being nice, jerk face.
Yeah. He has a way of pulling you into his gravity and never letting you go. He has his own gravitational field. He's so big and he's so,
Is that a fat joke? Is that a fat joke?
oh yeah. Oh yeah. And he knows it too. Thanks, Loki. Even though he's not fat at all.
Oh, is it?
Absolutely. Lethal, thank you so very much. Let me catch up to a couple of things because I know Lethal's got to go. Brother, thank you so very much for being here, for popping in here. We got to get you on the show again at some point, Lethal. He says, I got to hit the hay. Much love all. And earlier he dropped, if I can find it. My God, where did it go? I'm going to lose my mind here. Where did it go?
He's had several chats, my man. I love Lethal, man. Dude, the Australians are so cool. I love it when I get Lethal or Ryan or Lyndon or of course my editor, Mr. Grant Gregory, on the channel, man. They're incredible people. And just hanging out with them anywhere is just awesome.
Let me throw this out for you, Lethal. Thank you so very much, brother, for that super chat. You guys keep the fires burning bright. Now we'll catch up to all the super chats here in just a minute, but this one, Lethal, is just for you, brother. We're gonna throw you $1. Skull.
A dollar? I've never seen a dollar. Nobody's got a dollar. Let us see the dollar. There it is. It's beautiful. Take your hat off, boy. That's a dollar bill.
The original is still the best.
It is. Sure.
What about the opposite of that? What is the hardest thing you've had to deal with?
Wow. I'm going to tell you the truth. Making an amazing video that you think is like some of your best work and having nobody watch it.
No, yeah, I totally get that.
But you know, because like I said, I mean, I spent a lot of time putting the content together. Back when I was doing my own editing, I wasn't releasing as many videos. I was doing like one a week, maybe two sometimes. You know, and I've noticed that the more consistent you are, and again, this is courtesy of Mexican Iron Man and many other incredible creators like Ryan and a few others whom I would consider I'm friends with. That told me, look, you just need to be consistent. Release a video the same time every day. You know, just get it out there. You know, YouTube appreciates consistency. It's true. But the hardest thing is when you work your butt off on something and it doesn't get any traction. It blows your mind. You're like, why did this not get traction? You know, and it happened to me last week, once, twice, maybe. This week it happened again. You know, it's just like, I did great on these videos. In fact, I had a great editor that did great on editing, and they just didn't get the traction. And that's hard on me. But the hardest thing you'll ever do on YouTube is the first 1,000 subscribers. If that's your goal, is to get to the monetization point, your first 1,000 subscribers are the hardest. Really.
I've noticed one of the things I noticed uploading shorts, and I don't know how many shorts you've done.
None. I've done exactly 0.
I had this whole package of Godzilla records. I mean, it was like this. It was like a 15 vinyl collector set. It cost $500. It's absolutely nuts that I sprung for this. But I'm a Godzilla nut, so I see this and I'm like, oh my God, I have to get this. Some of those rammed up into the thousands of views, and others are sitting at like 24.
It's weird, right?
And you're like, okay, I did all of these exactly the same. I did each album exactly the same. I did the title the same. I did the description the same. I didn't do anything different in some of these albums. And it'll be like the weird one, like Godzilla versus the Trash Monster. Thousands of views, and then you get to something that everybody knows, you know, Godzilla versus Ghidorah or Godzilla versus the Space Monster, and 24 views.
Doesn't that blow your mind?
Yeah.
It's exactly the same. Like my videos are formatted the same. I don't know if you've noticed that, but I use the traditional the traditional presentation style that you use for anything. You know, by the way, this is a little inside baseball, but just like any sitcom, the news, anything you'll notice has the same format. You have a cold open, then a title, main titles, and then the main, right? And then those are broken up by commercials sometimes. And if I ever do long form videos, I'm sure I'll break them up that way. But so I do it that way on purpose. So usually somewhere between 45 seconds and 2 minutes is my cold open. Then it's a break for main titles. Then it's the main story. I try to keep them about 10 minutes long. Lately, I've been going 15, 20 minutes because there's that much material out there now. What I've abandoned is the idea that more, that more is, or less is more is, I've abandoned that idea because there's so much material that's related to or interconnected to a story or, something you're covering. Especially when you're trying to break something down. So, what that does is it makes your videos suffer from, audience fall off, like but at the same time, if people stick all the way to the end of the video, they're going to get some valuable information along the way, and in perspective from other locations, which, like I said, it's very, very important. Hey, what's up, Keith? Love you, man. From a creator perspective, it's important to inform your opinion with a lot of other opinions, even if they aren't something you agree with. So, but anyway, gosh, I go off on tangents all the time. I'm sorry, Loki.
No. This is perfect. This is exactly why I love talking to guests, is to get their opinion. What do you think about people trying to push through that first 1,000? If you could give them only one piece of advice, the best piece of advice you could get them pushing through that first 1,000, what would it be? Yeah,
collaborate. That's it. It's easy. Collaborate. Reach out. Talk to somebody like Loki. Talk to somebody like me. Talk to Brightest Day, Zach. He's freaking awesome. Talk to Jedi Bill. He's freaking awesome. Talk to any like Fat Steven Seagal. He's universally available. Talk to anybody here that has a channel and collaborate, especially if it's something that you love. Like if you want to dive into the physical world and talk about stuff, like reach out to Adega. You want to talk about mythology, mysticism, reach out to somebody who specializes in that. Reach out, collaborate. Collaboration is your key to early growth, always.
Punk Waddle says collaborate and listen.
Yeah.
Because none of us got here on our own. Nobody around here got to where they are today solo. They got there by working with other people, by talking with other people, by collaborating with people, going on their shows, having them come on their shows. It's not like I just blindly reached out to culture, but that doesn't mean that I couldn't have. Don't let yourself get scared to reach out and talk to somebody like, oh, well, they won't want it. They're these people. They want no. A lot of us, like, one of the people I love getting to talk to every once in a while is Gary over at Nerdrotic.
Oh, yeah.
He does not look at me and is like, oh, well, you're just a plebeian. Go away. I don't want to speak to you. Gary will bullshit every once in a while in DMs or whatever. And I really appreciate that because he's something to me that you look at that you go, okay, this is what I can do. This is what I can do. This is what culture can do. This is what Ryan Roger Athe can do. This is something that you work hard on and that you can do this.
Yeah. And again, I mean, you are your, this is the other thing in life. And this is how I've pretty much approached life since becoming an adult. You're your own limiting factor. Always. You are your own limiting factor. There are always barriers of entry into anything that you do. Always. There's always barriers to overcome. But the biggest barrier you will encounter is yourself. Just remember that. Yeah.
Pat S. said culture promoted our Band of Brothers special for an hour the Friday before episode 1. He did this after just talking to me once. I'll always appreciate him for caring about the vets.
Yeah. Well, again, I mean, when you have a family that's has military roots, you pay attention to those things. And of course, Pat S reached out. It doesn't take much. I always tell people, I'm like, if I'm available, I'm available. That's a mantra. If you ask anybody who's ever been around me, that's kind of the mantra I've had. If I'm available, I'm available. Which means if I'm not already creating something, if I'm not already collaborating, or if I'm not working on my real job, I'm available. So I try to live by that. Everybody should.
And be there. And be there, be there for your fellow content creators. Be there for people first starting out. I love it when I see someone new come in.
Oh yeah.
Just the other day, someone sent me a message with like, I just did my first live stream and it was all because of you. And I was like, holy shit, dude, you have no idea how much. Seriously, when I get those messages, when I get those emails, when I get those and I see those videos, guys, you have no idea. I'll be sitting here and be like, oh my God, dude, he was listening. He was there, they were listening. And sometimes it's like it's not that we don't believe you're listening. It's that you're sitting there and you're saying something, all your passion and all your fires in it. And it's wonderful when you inspire someone to go out and get on the microphone and stand up and they're not afraid. Because a lot of people are afraid. I was afraid. I don't know about you, Culture. And you talked about this. You were like, well, I spent all this time setting this up and doing this. I could have started a year and a half before I did. And I didn't. And then I got in a motorcycle accident and I was down and my body was all messed up. Yeah. And it was like a year after that I was like, this is changing. And I used it. I used it to get up. I used it to get up off the couch. I used it for movement every day. I started doing videos, and then I was doing the live streams because I absolutely love the live streams. And we have got some bots.
I'm swatting a bot right now. I wish I had a wrench. So here's the thing. There's, like I said, if you don't hesitate, don't delay, don't procrastinate, get it done. And Mags is going to get it done. Lots of people just start it. If you feel like you want to get out there and start talking, we have a member of our fellowship called Joker Voice. Maybe you've heard of him.
Yes,
he started a channel. Do you know what his hashtag is?
No, I do not.
Keep talking.
Keep talking. Yeah.
And it's the truth. I mean, this is a guy who, is an expert level cosplayer, a voice actor. He's, done stuff in the industry, and he's got a channel now. So go check out the Joker Voice. I mean, check out, Happy Dinosaur, check out Jedi Bill, check out so many other people in this channel that are in this chat right now that have channels. I mean, but like I said, Brightest Day, Zach is one of my buddies. He is underappreciated and should be doing better. But it's a struggle. I mean, I was often told, hey, I can't believe you don't have 10,000 subs. Well, I'm like, well, I just keep working. And again, I mean, you cannot allow I think this is the other most important piece of advice. Don't get jealous. Jealousy doesn't work. Jealousy is not a tool in your toolbox, right? You need tools that are motivating and tools that are always in your toolbox. Jealousy is not a tool. Jealousy is the sand in your engine. You do not need it. It doesn't work.
No, you're absolutely right. And there was a young content creator who told me, well, I can't because I don't have a quality microphone. I don't have this and I don't have that. And I said, bullshit. You can do it on your phone. You can live stream on your phone. I know you can live stream on your phone because I live stream on my phone. That's bullshit. And now she's hanging out with Mary Mayhem and all the girls over at the Babe to Menace. And she's a great live streamer now. And sometimes you need that little push. You just need just a little push. And it's not like you got to push them hard. You just got to call, if they're procrastinating, call them on their shit.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, if you tell me you want to start a channel, because you can reach out to me and at least 20, 25 other people that I know, and they will help you, even if it's just a little bit, like creating your first intro, or sending you some suggestions for royalty free music or whatever. Yeah, dude, Keith, it is so good to see you, man.
Indeed.
Yeah, I love you, dude.
Did I ever tell you I ran into him? It was the craziest thing because
No.
I was at what was it? It wasn't Movie Trading Company. It was another one of those. And I hear this voice and I'm like, I know that voice. And I turn around and poof, there he is. I'm like, dude, your name's Keith, isn't it? He's like, yeah. I'm like, dude, I'm Loki, Stone Loki from YouTube. And he's like, oh, hey, man. And we sat there and bullshitted for like an hour. But it was like a movie. They had comics, they had stuff. It was like, you get your collector stuff there. Vintage stock. That's what it was. It was vintage stock in Springfield, Missouri. And it was just crazy. Dude, small ass world. You never think something like that's gonna happen, and then you hear a voice, and you're like, I know that voice. I know it.
I'm starting to be able to make contact with people that are in my current vicinity. So it's kind of neat to just actually hang out with some people from time to time. So you'll find you will create fast friends here when you don't even have to have a channel, but just in the chat. Speaking of which, you have somebody who streams from their phone all the time. His name is Subhuman, and he's in the chat right now.
Yes.
You don't create a barrier, man. Subhuman's just awesome.
And Gap Stargate, you were who I was talking about earlier that I got a message from recently that was like, dude, I just did my first live stream.
Yeah.
So yeah, things like that absolutely blow me away. Me away.
And here's the other thing, and this is something that I'm gonna have to start doing myself. What's up, Rod Thunderheart? And Monkey Jeebus is here. What's up, bud? You need to take, if you have a hard time creating videos, this is some other advice real quick. I don't know if this is probably not warranted, and Loki's going to probably be mad, but if you don't think you're good at creating scripted content or like breakdown videos or anything like that, and you like to live stream, take the best segment or two from your live stream and turn it into its own video. It's one of the ways you can capitalize on having the ability to live stream, because despite the lip service that we were given by the platform that we're currently streaming on at the moment, they still don't favor live streamers. They favor video content. So just keep that in mind.
And that has shifted a little bit. I know that when I got started, when I started switching over to live stream, I did a lot of detective work. And one of the things that I was actually told from I forget what this wonderful lady's name was. She works for Google. She said, if you want to do live streams on a daily basis, like you're talking about, don't mix other content in. You will get better result if you just do what you're doing every day, and you're consistently doing it at the same time every day. Hence, consistency is the key. Now, whether or not she misspoke or not, I've kind of taken that to heart until recently, when I've kind of changed my gears, and now I'm going to be doing Lord of the Rings videos. I've got another one of those coming up today, and it's going to be a little bit after 12, probably about 12:15 in the afternoon today, Central Standard Time. So keep your eyes out on that. But originally, the idea was just do live streams. Just do the show. And then another show got added, and another show got added. And suddenly I was doing 9 shows a week, and I was like, okay, I've got to stop that. And I did, because it was almost overwhelming working on content, doing 9 live streams a week, and guesting as much as I was guesting. I was constantly on YouTube. I was everywhere. And you know what that's like. I know you do, because you're everywhere.
Yeah. It's addictive. That's the truth. I think people don't realize, but when you start doing live streams are addictive. because it's a conversation, and it's not just a conversation between Loki and I. It's a conversation with everybody out there. You folks in the chat are incredibly important to making a good live stream. That's the other thing, is the interaction. This is one of the only places you're going to get that. That's why this thing here, these types of platforms, I hate using that word, but it's their word. It is the word that's accurate for now. But this type of entertainment is killing regular television and film, because the audience is part of what's happening. And you can't beat that with a stick. It's why theme parks, are more entertaining than, a carnival. It's the interactive entertainment element is added to it. That's the key, and that is incredibly addictive, right? I mean, the feedback loop of having a great stream is energizing. I don't even know what the right word is. But it truly is. And you believe it today I go from, I'm just going to walk through my schedule, just so you know. I'm doing this with Loki, right? I have a video, I think, that's going to be releasing in the next couple of hours. I have, or not even that long. What do we got? An hour and 15 minutes, I hope. I've got the 6-minute daily. Okay, so that's 2 live streams. Then
I love those, by the way. I don't know how you came up with that, but I am a fan. I'm always there. Whether you see me or not, whether I say anything or not, I'm always there, because I'm like, how much shit is he going to be able to get through a day, and how fast is he going to go through it? Is anything going to put the pause on the 6-minute daily? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I love those. I absolutely love those. I'm a huge fan.
I love them too, and it is a challenge. Yesterday, I got through 18 story items in 6 minutes. But yeah, and sometimes I set a challenge for myself. I think the record I have right now is 22 stories in 6 minutes.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and again, I mean, I try to take the headline and boil the story down, right? Because most people nowadays, and this is the problem with clickbait headlines, most people don't have the attention span. They'll read the headline, they'll read the first paragraph, and they're completely misled. And so what I'll do is I'll digest everything I can and try to take the headline, break it down, give my commentary, and move on. And it's fun. I love that show. But then let's see. After 6-minute daily today, I go to Midnight's Edge in the morning. We're going to be talking about the Batman. Tom got to see that. Chris Gore is going to be there. He got to see that. Then from Midnight's Edge in the morning, I think I'm gonna flow over to today's Wednesday. I flow over to Street Smarts over on Mad Mardigan's channel, Mad Barber Entertainment. And then after that, we do Wednesday Live, which is a show that Mad and I created together that is now permanently residing over on Mad Barber Entertainment. So that'll be after Street Smarts, just the two of us, and he tries to see if he can make my head explode. And then after that, I'll be going over to Sporking News Podcast to do the dump, the Wednesday Humpty Dump, which you should come on at some point, man. That'd be funny as hell.
Love to.
And then let's see. After that, although I probably won't be there today, is Wednesday Live over on Wes Moody's channel, or not Wednesday Live. Excuse me. Whatever Wednesday, whatever Wednesday is over on Wes Moody's channel. So, and again, that's how addictive live streaming is that I will spend all but 2 hours where I actually do my real job today doing live streaming.
And Gary says, so much content to watch, I would struggle to stream in a slot not taken. You can't worry about slots. Never worry about slots. And if anybody ever gets upset with you, tell them to F off, because listen, there's so much content on YouTube, Gary. Everyone's streaming or uploading or doing something at the same time. Never worry about a slot. Just go, and if someone has a problem with it, that's their problem. It's not your problem. You didn't cause a commotion or anything. You can't worry. You really can't worry about that. There are people that stream over everyone else all the time. I hate that term stream over, but that's what happens, and it's going to happen. And you can't get your panties in a twist. Nobody can, because someone streams at the same time they do. It's just something that you've got to get out of your mind. Don't even worry about it. Don't even think about it, because it's going to happen. You
can't avoid it. You can't avoid it. If you think about how many billions of minutes per month are uploaded in content to YouTube, you can't even care. I mean, you just can't. I mean, there is enough room to have, and this is the truth, in our fellowship, there's enough room to have 12,000 people watching Friday Night Tights right, on Friday, and there's enough room to have several thousand other people, 6, 7, 8,000 people watching Doomcock that, you know, starts a little bit later than FNT, right? And then you have still even more room that's available for other programming. And in just the words that you need to not be afraid of is counter programming. Which means you kind of don't care. You know, you're giving somebody an opportunity to find an alternative to what somebody else is doing. So don't care about that. That's not important.
Agreed. Mexican Iron Man with $10 super chat says, how many hours per day or per week do the two of you spend doing YouTube? 1, watching other channels as a fan. I can't even imagine. Wow. 2, live streaming on your channel versus 3, guest appearances versus making videos.
Well, one of the wisest persons I know, you know, who might be in this chat right now, told me that I might be doing too much, and I took that lesson to heart. So on, like I said, days like today, I spend the whole day doing it. But if you notice, there are days where I'm nowhere. But that doesn't mean I'm not watching. And that's the thing, is even before I started my channel, we talked about this at the beginning of the stream. I'm always somewhere. I mean, even if I'm in my car, I've got my phone connected to the car and I'm listening to somebody's video, somebody's stream. I consume as much content as I can. And I will take like a month and focus on, you know, these channels, and those will be the ones that I'll be visible in. I have to actually make this conscious choice, because as Loki knows, the minute you're visible in a chat, you now are in the chat, you know.
That's right.
And so that's why I know people that lurk. I know some larger channels that lurk in my streams that they don't say anything, because if they do, they get
bombarded.
Tired. Yeah. But yeah, watching other channels, I watch so many channels as a fan. You guys don't even know. Like I'll be listening to 2 or 3 channels. I used to mod a couple channels at a time. By the way, that's a party when you guys.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But
the first time I modded someone who had over 100,000 subscribers, I was like, yeah, because they had, I think they had 4,000 or 5,000 people in chat, and it's just a blur. They didn't have slow chat on, and it was just a blur. I'm gonna get caught up with super chats real quick.
Yeah.
And give me just a minute.
Yeah, you owe him a big old skull. Whew.
I do. Thank you so much, Mexican Iron Man, for that $10 super chat. You guys keep the fires burning bright here in Valhalla, and we're gonna burn down the village for you, Mexican Iron Man, because I know how much you love that. Skull! Prince Lethal earlier dropped a $3 super sticker. It was a Shiba Inu. Thank you so very much for that $3 super chat, Prince Lethal. Mexican Iron Man with a $19.99 super chat said, subscribe to Culture Casino channel. Truly one of the finest YouTubers. His intellect, heart, wisdom, and soul is truly of the finest character and entertaining spirit. Valhalla welcomes you, sir. Absolutely. Thank you, Mexican Iron Man. And this one, brother, let's see. I know you love this one. This one's just for you. We're going to throw you some jewels this morning. Skull!
And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brother.
Daryl the Derelict with the $5 super chat. Valhalla is getting culture today. However, we will still drink vigorously. Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you so much, Daryl the Derelict, for that $5 super chat. You guys keep the fires burning bright here in Valhalla. And Daryl, I'm going to throw you out the Viking horde. Skull! Arwen Avalon rejoin the ranks of Valhalla's Warriors. Thank you so very much, Arwen Avalon, for becoming a member again. She does look good in green, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, she does. Flora from Under a Rock with $2 Canadian Super Chat. Loki, you still coming on tonight at 9 p.m. EST? Yes, I am. Thank you so very much for the invite. Guys, I will be on Floral's channel tonight. We're going to be talking about all kinds of crazy things. I have no idea what we're going to be doing, but it's going to be absolutely crazy. So thank you, Flora. Brightest Day with $1.99 Super Chat. He doesn't say anything. Brightest Day, if you're still there, dude, drop a message in chat. I will be more than happy to read it. Thank you so very much, Brightest Day. Let's see what else we got here. Scrolling. Prince Lethal, we got that one. He got to hit the hay. Much love. Thank you, Lethal, for being here, brother. It's always good to see you. Larry, the $2 super chat. Take your hat off, boy. Skull to Valhalla and all of chat. Skull to you, Larry, and we'll throw you $1. Skull!
A dollar? I've never seen a dollar. Nobody's got a dollar. Let us see the dollar. There it is. It's beautiful. Take your hat off, boy. That's a dollar bill.
Jedi Bill 797 with a $7.97 super chat. Looky what he did there, ladies and gentlemen. He said, good morning, brother warrior. Guys, if you are not subscribed to Jedi Bill 797, go and check out his channel. He does all kinds of live watch parties, movie reviews. I mean, it was an absolutely wonderful channel. He's even got a cat video that I think hit like 100,000 views of a cat.
He will occasionally do an unsanitary thing that makes me not want to watch.
No, let's not talk about the toilet bowl. No toilet bowl talk this morning.
No.
Bill, don't ever do that again, brother.
Never.
I
will send the occasional super chat just to prevent that from happening.
Yes. No super chats for that. We'll do super chats against that. Yeah. Absolutely. Mags, new channel coming. Magitech Mags with $5 super chat. I love live streams. I live for it, mainly because I enjoy the interaction. I've made so many friends along the way through live streams. Mags, I absolutely love getting to see you in chat. What about you, Culture?
Oh man, what do you mean? What do you mean? I love live stream. We just had this conversation. Yes, absolutely. Live streams are like they're like they're almost coffee. They're not quite coffee, but they're almost coffee. And as Loki knows, I drink about 64 ounces of coffee a day. So yeah, they're almost coffee.
Almost. And thank you, Mags. This one is just for you, and because I know how toxic you are as a female. Skull! Dun 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 dun. You just want to keep doing this song. Dun 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 dun. I've got that album right behind me. I've got that album. I love listening to that Conan album. Psychodorb 9 with $2 super chat. I flip a coin over Terrence Pop and Timcast.
Ooh.
Thank you.
You know, it's so easy for me to look at Timcast, in the evenings, or to like catch his little broken up bits that he does. I think for being quote unquote milquetoast, I think he's probably the person, I hate to say this, that I like to try to be like, because if I don't know if you guys have noticed this, and a lot of people have complimented me in this way, and I do take it as a compliment, that I am very reserved and less hyperbolic than a lot of other creators. I try not to let emotion overcome, what I'm covering. You know what I mean?
Yes, I know exactly what you mean. One of the things I try and do is not get carried away with things that are being said. So it's like, I could go live first thing in the morning and be like, oh my God, there's a rumor out there that says that blah, 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 blah is going to happen. Isn't that horrible, everyone? I've done everything in my power not to get sucked in by that and not to do that at all. to leave rumors where they are and try and talk about facts. These are the facts, ladies and gentlemen. I don't want to run on rumors. I don't want to be a rumor channel. Not that there's anything wrong with rumor channels or anything like that. Some people are like, Logie hates rumor channels. No, he doesn't. I want to give facts. I don't want to thrive on rumor.
I don't, and again, I mean, I can talk rumors. I think, I've actually, broken some things and told, people what was going to happen and, with certain entities and stuff. I don't do that anymore. I don't know if anybody noticed that I stopped doing that. I will occasionally, say something that could lead you to draw a conclusion. That's on you. But there's no value in it, because if something changes, then whatever you reported it doesn't happen, then you've sacrificed some form of credibility. It's no different than the people going on the Galactic Star Cruiser and puffing it, even though if anybody's watching what's going on and as things are described as what they are, there's zero reason to puff it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's absolutely zero reason to puff it.
There's no benefit. I mean, I can tell you what I heard, and you can take it with whatever grains of salt or sand or whatever you want to throw into the mix, but it isn't. At the end of the day, it may not pan out, or it may take years. I told people that almost a year ago, I think Tom and I and a couple other people were talking about Disney Plus and its future. And I said, well, right now they're working on a mature content filter that they can add content controls for parental controls to Disney Plus. I said they have to, because they have to cater to the audience. Lo and behold, 6 months later, some information came out of a few trades saying that
for the new Marvel series, how they're bringing the Netflix Marvel series over, and they've got to,
internationally they were already adding a separate element. They did the UK and a few other places had the same thing. So it's like you just have to follow. Okay, this is what I heard. And then you follow what happens next, and that's what happens next. You get the adult contents and basically an adult version of Disney Plus in other countries. Then you see it in other parts of Europe, and then in Canada you start to see them breaking up content. And it's a natural progression of stuff. And I think but it's a no brainer, because over 50% of the audience for Disney Plus is adult, and most of them don't have kids at home. Did you know that?
No, I had no idea about that.
Yeah. And so it's, a lot of this stuff gets out before it makes its way into the trades. A lot of it, it comes into different departments and different, units or business units before it ever rolls out into the general public. And there's a reason for that. And people talk, and, like I said, like I said, don't live on rumors. I mean, you can live on rumors. You can go to the rumor pages all the time. You can go check out 4chan and Reddit and places like that and get some scoops and stuff. But scooping's hard unless you're somebody who really can scoop things, who actually talks to people daily, who has good contacts, like obviously Keith and Geary over at Pop Culture Minefield, or you happen to know certain people over at Geekiosity or whatever. You have people who are legitimate scoopers. They actually work in the industry or closely with people in the industry, and they get a constant stream of information. So just do it at your peril, I think, would be my advice. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Did I
no, it does.
I talked for too long. Shit.
No, you don't. Mr. Tickle Drunk with a $5 Canadian super chat. So many good live streams happening on a daily basis. I now suffer from bandwidth anxiety. Overworked for 4 months, so I lurk a lot now. I miss chatting.
Yeah.
You know what? Do you?
That's true.
Are you ever lurking and you're like, man, I want to say something, but I don't want to pull away from what they're doing. I don't want everybody to pay attention to me. Because I feel like that. I'm like, God, I would love to say something, but I don't want to distract from what's going on. And I don't want to and that's not us being up our own asses. No. That is very much we don't want to pull away from the awesome conversation that's going on.
Yeah. It's called pull focus. You don't want to pull focus off of what's happening.
Yes.
You're right. That's consideration one, of course. I try not to be, because I'm on my phone a lot when I'm not sitting here, right, or at one of the other computers, or if I'm not at the office at a workstation or whatever. I'm on my phone, and it sucks to tag people on your phone. Sucks.
Yes.
So, because just it's not like on the computer where it auto tags. So if I were going to fix the apps for these platforms, I'd be like, fix your tagging system on phones and tablets, you turkeys.
Yes.
And, but you can get around that by loading the desktop site, but that is really a pain in the butt. So don't even bother. What was I going to say? Oh, so yeah, you'll have anxiety over not doing that, but you know that you could pull focus. The other thing is, I don't like to do it when I'm working on something, especially for somebody else, like I'm putting together an intro or whatever. Or even developing something for myself, because the minute I get engaged in that, then whatever I'm working on gets completely abandoned, because now I'm in it. That's what I call it. I'm in it now. I'm in it. When you get in the chat, you're committed to the chat. It is what it is. So, but yeah, I agree. You get bandwidth anxiety. And again, that's one of the other things we were talking about, it being able to mod or watch multiple streams simultaneously. Like I can listen to 2 or 3 things simultaneously and still be working on something. I'm weird like that. I'm polyphasic is the terminology. But some people can't. They have to focus on one thing at a time. But the minute I get engaged in a chat, then I become centrally focused on that, and that destroys my productivity, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
Larry throws out a thumbs up, and thank you so much for that $1.99 super sticker, Larry. Mags has a question. She says, I know consistency is key. Do you try to keep to a certain schedule for your own mental, physical health to prevent burnouts and being stretched out? I'll tell you what, I always get sleep. I used to not. I used to be up at all hours of the night. I'd sleep here. I'd sleep there. I'd get a couple hours here, a couple hours there. Now I sleep every night. I will sleep every single night. I'm in bed by at least like 11 o'clock and I'm going to bed. So I get at least, at the very least, I've got to get more than 6 hours. So that's me though. What about you, Culture?
Okay, so if anybody knows me, and I think Wes Moody, one of my longest term friends here on YouTube, and in real life now, that's the other cool thing about YouTube. We talked about that earlier, but just to reiterate or reset that idea, you form real life friendships here, which is, a foreign concept to a lot of people. But anyway, consistency is really important for me because I schedule my day in roughly 15-minute increments. I mean, so like I'll block out like free time, but those are kind of broken up in their own 15 minutes. Like I have a break for, an hour and a half. That's 6 15-minute increments for me, right? Did I do the math right? I think I did. But that's what I do. But I have now put a higher value on my time, courtesy of, again, some amazing person in this chat who I had a long conversation with. So that number one, I don't fall over from doing too much. So like Loki, sleep is the most important thing when you do this. Otherwise, there's this concept, I think Loki's familiar with this, called stream brain.
Yeah. Yes.
Stream brain kicks in after you have reached the point of exhaustion and you're cruising on like coffee or adrenaline or endorphins or something, but you've lost the ability to convey a thought.
Coherently. Yeah. It's just gone. Yeah.
Somebody else cover, because I need a minute. I gotta gather some thoughts together, put some words together.
Project Storytime, who's been a member for 8 months and is Warrior Midgar, asked how to stay consistent when you do edited content. I do it in shifts. At least for me, I do all the voice recording first, because to me, that's the most important thing. So I will convey my thoughts and tell my tale, talk about what I need to, and then I'll add in. If I do have background music, which I'm doing in Lord of the Rings, which is really weird, my Lord of the Rings videos, the Histories of Middle Earth, I've got the Elven tune playing kind of like really, really low in the background. Ooh. And I add all that in after that. So to me, it's like I'll get that, then I get that, then I get anything else added, video, pictures, whatever, put it together, and then paste it. So I do it in shifts.
Yeah. And I'm kind of the same way. Right now, I've been trying to get this CNN story together. I'm just going to tell you, I don't care. I'm trying to get the CNN in-depth report together about the downward spiral and everything else. And, the thing that a lot of people complain about their, the veracity of their reporting or the depth of their reporting, or, whether or not they tilt one side or the other. I think there's no doubt about that. But, I was trying to get that out last week, didn't happen. Trying to get that out this week, didn't happen. But what I don't want to sacrifice is the consistency of content. So what I'll do is on my downtime, like today, usually, although it's not going to happen today, usually I have about an hour that I can record 1 or 2 videos that can get sorted into an edit. Right. I spend a lot of time on Friday during my downtime, putting together an outline. I've stopped writing full scripts. Now I just outline my bullet points that I want to talk about. Occasionally I'll still write a script, but for the most part, it's a bullet point. So I'll do that on Friday. If I can sneak in a record, I will. But I always try to record at least 4 videos over what I consider the weekend, which is Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. I oftentimes will end up in a situation where I record all 4 things on Saturday, because a lot of my content while it's current content, a lot of it doesn't have to be out there the day of, because it's not going to expire. It doesn't get spoiled, and when it does get spoiled, I can always record something else. So that's how I stay consistent. I get ahead of the game, but always start with what Loki says. Always start with the recording itself. Get your ideas out there somewhere, whether it's in an outline form, whether it's just a stream of consciousness conversation with your camera, whatever. But get that recording part first. Everything else in an edit can get added later. Don't even consider that until you're done with your recording. So, at least for me.
Daryl the Derelict with $2 super chat says live streaming is a rush that can't be compared to.
No, you're 100% right, Daryl. Yeah,
Were you sweating the first time you did a live stream?
Yeah, actually, look, I'm going to say this every time I start down this conversation. I have to sing the praises of one person, and everybody knows her, Miss Martin Muses. She is responsible for me doing a live stream. She's also somewhat responsible for me being on camera, because before, I think I've told the story 1,000 times. Before, I was just going to be an avatar like Fat Steven. I had a robot avatar worked up. I was utilizing a system called FaceRig, which is now, I think, renamed Animes. It's available on Steam and other places. But it takes this camera and turns it into essentially a motion capture. So it would convey that. I had a voice set up on voice mod, and I modulated and changed it so that it sounded, and I was going to be Gron,
the Destroyer.
Yeah. And so that was what I was going to do. Right. And Miss Martin Musa was responsible for that. And yeah, I was sweating bullets on my very first live stream. And then I came across the amazing, there's so many amazing people in this community, but thanks to Miss Martin Muses, that's also how I started hanging out with AFK Bard. We ended up with obviously Wes Moody in those streams, and it was the C virus diaries, I think is what it was being called. And so because of her and that, I got more comfortable. My first live stream, I was sweating bullets. And then I found the rush in it. So the next opportunity I had to do something, to take a step, a bigger step, was when I was invited on with Mary Mayhem, right? Somebody else who I consider, somebody who helped me along the way, and she deserves every bit of praise that I can heap upon her for that. But she had me on, and I knew what the subjects were in advance. So I created individual backgrounds and other stuff to kind of help me feel the confidence to talk about certain subjects. Because at the time, I think we were talking about Wonder Woman and stuff like that. So, but no, this first time you go on a live stream, you're sweating bullets, but it's a rush like no other. I think Loki does it for the same reason I do. It's freaking fun.
Yes, absolutely. It's the funnest job you will ever have. And did you ever see the end of Deadpool 2? The second Deadpool movie. You remember when he sits down with the Green Lantern script and he's like, "Oh my God, this is so great." You know, he's got that look on his face. That was me sitting down to do my first live stream on Doomcock's channel. I had jokes that I had written. Oh my God, culture. I had jokes that I wrote.
Wow.
And I sat down and I was like, oh my God. And then everything went wrong. I couldn't get connected. My VR headset was overriding the camera option and StreamYards wouldn't let me in. And I'm pulling shit out of my computer. I'm pulling cords. And finally I pull that and everything gets right. I get in there. And because I was late, Abu Nas goes ahead of me. So Abu Nas, you know, Doomcock welcomes Abu Nas and the crowd, Abu Nas, you know, and he's like, "What's up, Phantom Menace? Let me break it down." Abu Nas, and people are throwing fireballs at the stage he's on, and he's rapping and doing his thing. And Doomcock's like, "Well, all right, let's bring up Stone Loki." And by the time he did that, I had thrown the jokes behind me. Mm-hmm. The stage was burnt the hell down.
Yep.
And I was like, "You son of a bitch, you threw me under the bus." And he goes, "Loki, what do you mean?" And I said, "I was supposed to come up there, and then you bring Abu Nas," and everybody's going, Abu Nas. And they burned down the stage. There's nothing left.
That's a hard act to follow no matter what. Right? Dude's amazing. He demands attention, commands it.
Yes, but it upped my game.
Yeah, it did.
I was nowhere near as prepared as I thought I was.
Yeah.
But it upped my game and it made me realize, you know what? I'm going to throw the script behind me and I'm just going to be me. And I think that was something that really changed, and all the things that could have changed. Loki was going to be very mischievous and more like Loki in Marvel universe, and it made me throw that idea out, and just be me. Give you guys unfiltered me.
Yeah, but unfiltered you is awesome. See, and that's the thing. I think we all realize that at some point. It's like, you know what? I'll just be me. And this is it. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, you can have a persona for sure, but you have to be authentic in what that is. And most people's personas are just offshoots of their personality anyway. And you can convey that, right? But you have to be authentic in everything. I can't artificially, defend things I don't believe in. I can't do it. I mean, it's nice to know that I can talk conversantly about the things that I don't believe in and give an argument about it. But you're going to know that that's not my authentic position, because it's just because I can't speak passionately about it.
Yeah.
I can speak dispassionately about it, but it is what it is.
Mexican Iron Man with $5 super chat says, "On the darkest of YouTube days, how did the two of you find the strength to keep going? What do you do to stay inspired?"
Wow. Well, I'll answer it first. I was going to force you to go first, but I'll do it. A days where a video doesn't hit. Again, I actually had this conversation a little while ago earlier in the stream. Dude, when you we put your heart into something, it doesn't hit, and whether it be your fault or, and you can take ownership of when you didn't do as good a job as you thought, or whether you're suppressed by the algorithm because of the kind of story you're covering, which is something I know I've been experiencing lately. Those become pretty dark, right? When your channel's not growing, you're not getting a lot of, traction, whatever the terminology is. But I look back at my friends and what they're doing on their channel, because everybody else inspires me. That's another thing about enjoying what you do. I enjoy what everybody else does. So I get to watch Scott Sporkin News podcast completely flub words and just destroy like whole paragraphs of articles and stuff like that. And I find joy in that, because so does he, because he knows, because he's authentic. I get to get up in the morning and listen to Loki Mornings of Mischief, who goes live every single weekday and hasn't missed in 2 years. Is that correct?
Yeah, over 2 years now. Yeah.
Even when everything goes wrong and there's no internet, and you have the good Mexican Iron Man and Tom come in and pull the save.
And back, yet that I tell you, I never, when I started, I never would have imagined that. I really wouldn't.
And that's, and that's the other thing. But it's everybody else inspires me, man. I mean, Tom inspires me. Tom inspires me to not sleep as much as I need to, right? Loki inspires me. But again, I have a hard time. I listen to either Loki in the morning on weekdays, or I listen to Captain Trek in the morning on weekdays. I listen to, I listen to other people before I get started. It is part of me. Part of my day is as everybody else, and on my darkest days I use everybody else's inspiration. I hope, gosh, that sounds really freaking corny. I'm gonna go sit in a corner. I'll be back.
It's to me, it's everyone in here, it's everyone out there. I love talking to everybody. This is like I as much as people have told me, Loki, I can't start my day without you. I can't start my day without y'all, all of you. Getting to talk to everybody, checking on the channel, seeing what's going on. The first thing I do after I get done on here in the morning is I am opening my YouTube app. I am clicking on the little notification bell, and I'm looking at what's come out this morning. I'm looking at what's going on. Like right now, Fat Steven Seagal has got raw footage People's Convoy going on. Skill Up just did a Pokemon Scarlet Violet Call of Duty delayed and Fallout New Vegas video. E-Hacker, Heel versus Babyface has been playing a video game this morning. OMB Reviews uploaded 3 new videos. Midnight's Edge 6 hours ago. So it's like first thing I do when I am done with this show is I'm checking to see what everybody else is doing.
Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of people see, and a lot of people would think that would compromise your content, right? Or what you were going to cover, and not necessarily. I oftentimes will find I'm covering like a handful of different things than anybody else has picked up for the day.
That I find that only happens if you are regurgitating what everybody else is saying.
Yeah.
And I never do that. I don't have a problem with that. I can watch everybody's takes. I can watch what everybody's thinking, and I've still got my own opinion. So, and you're going to get my opinion, believe me. And some people are like, you just crazy. You black-pilled Loki. No, I'm just telling you how I see it and how I feel. You're getting my unfiltered opinion. This is how I feel about it. And there are people out there that don't even realize they've been doing this like their whole lives. How many times did your family get back from a movie and you've talked about it? How many times did you and your buddies go see a movie and talk shit about it as you were leaving? I remember everybody being so excited about the first Fast and the Furious movie, and me walking out going, you know what? There were some problems, but I liked it. And both of my best friends going, it was shit. They shifted 7 times and every problem with the movie. That's their opinion. We've been doing this forever. We've been talking about this forever. We've been sharing our opinions forever. We're just doing it on YouTube now.
Yeah.
Mexican Iron Man with $5 super chat says Culture Casino's commitment to help little YouTube younglings, would-be Padawans, is made evident by his Mad Mardigan internship program. Ha ha! LOL.
That's true. Look, I want to tell you, Mad Barber Entertainment, Mad Mardigan. He's great. In fact, he makes wonderful appearances over on WCBS. He obviously, his own channel is blowing up. He is a uniquely funny and interesting dude. And what surprises me is he's not already at 100,000 subscribers. Because again, just roll over, watch Street Smarts today, right? Just a brilliant idea. Take an after school special, put a panel together and watch it together. Something from the 70s that nobody's seen in a while or whatever. Genius. And everybody gets to play a character over there, including yours truly. and then and then see how different he is just a half an hour later, when that after the show Street Smarts ends, a half an hour later, Wednesday Live begins, and look at how different he is. He becomes himself. He's thoughtful, and while he and I together both dig on each other, you see just how brilliant he is. And I have a lot of people that I get to hang out like that. I don't get to do it as much as I'd like to. I think you have the same problem, Loki. It's just like,
Yeah.
there's not enough time.
There's not enough time, and you want to do everything you can for everybody. I have 2 intros that I promised over a week ago that I've still have not finished.
Yeah.
And it's like, how much stuff can I juggle?
Yeah.
And I want to get them finished, and I love the people I'm doing them for. It's like jumping from one, and then you've got to have a little personal time to chill too. You have to have a little personal time to chill. My personal time at night, I will cut off being on the internet, and I will, unless I've got a live stream that I promised to do.
Right.
But I'll still do it. I'll watch a couple episodes of something, whether it's Stargate, Daredevil, something I want to watch. I will watch a couple episodes of something.
There you go.
Each night, just for me. DJ Ronnie G with the $10 super chat says, upon being given an opportunity to appear on a stream, I was very concerned about how I would sound. Buying a decent microphone, as based on my research, really helped me push past my comfort zone. Thank you, DJ Ronnie G.
Yeah. I think when you get an opportunity to purchase an upgraded microphone, that's like the key. If you're streaming from a computer, if you are streaming from your phone, it almost doesn't matter. And believe it or not, some people can stream from their phone
and sound better. They
sound better.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I've noticed I sound really good on earbuds. Yeah. I never thought I would. They're just a $20 pair of earbuds. I sound fine. And then I've got like $140 microphone here. I've got a whole setup I'm gonna be moving to that's analog. It is not USB. Like, I've got my USB mic hooked up right now, but I've had problems lately with it. So I have the connections. I have the Sound Blaster AE7 sound card on my PC. Wow. I've got a controller, an analog controller, and I'm going to be going completely analog here in the next month or two.
Dude, jumping back to studio broadcast mic XLR or performance mic, because I have a few XLR mics now. These are vastly superior in sound quality. They just are. And it's like, whether it's a condenser or not, I prefer non-condenser mics, but these are better overall. But don't dive in and spend hundreds of dollars on this. Wait till YouTube pays for this. That is exactly what is happening. I think the whole setup, besides the card, because the card, YouTube paid for the card, but and that was last year. All I'm waiting on is the mic, and that's going to be $400. So that's coming, and YouTube's paying for that. I just got done with all the charity. We did all the charity work. We've got all the prizes out, so I can go back to having a little funds for myself this coming month. So March will be like, yay, I've got money. I've got me money coming. And that's what's getting that microphone, is that YouTube me money on the 21st. Wow, nice.
So
that's awesome. I again, one of the reasons that I plan ahead is because if I knew if this had turned into something, that it was going to have to operate as an entity in and of itself, and it needed to be responsible for paying for the equipment, for the gear, that I was getting, that I was upgrading to. And I always tell people, I'm like, the YouTube will provide. When you do get to monetization after your first 1,000 subs, take that little bit of money, treat it as a business, and treat your channel as a business, and take that money and reinvest it into your channel. So you don't have a tax liability. And again, I'm not a tax expert. Consult one, like maybe Mexican Iron Man. But B, if you can dump whatever income's coming in into what you're doing will get better exponentially, and it'll lead to more subs and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, there you go. A little bit of advice.
If you, before we get out of here, because we've gone 25 minutes over this morning, but we've had no, I wouldn't have done that if we weren't having a kick-ass conversation. I almost never do this, but I love getting the opportunity to talk to you, and I don't know when I'm going to have a chance to talk to you one-on-one again. If you could give everyone out there the best piece of advice you could give them on the way out the door, what would it be?
Don't wait. I think I said that earlier. Don't procrastinate. Yeah. If you are considering doing this, don't procrastinate. Don't procrastinate. Don't procrastinate, and use the people that you already know. And use is the wrong word. Take advantage. No, that's wrong. Collaborate was the safest way to say it. but that's really it. You have friends here. You do. And, they have talents that you may not possess. So, ask for help and respond in kind when you're asked for help. And I think you'll be good. But, I don't know, man, that just don't procrastinate. Start your channel today. If you're thinking about doing it, start it now. And I love everybody in this chat. You guys, I've been trying to pay attention to your comments as we go. And it would be so easy to ask Loki. It's really easy to converse with the chat. The conversation is easy. You guys make it easy. And that's why you're the best chat on YouTube. It's why we love you. Everybody in this fellowship is important. And we believe that. Watch what happens when one of us disappears for a little while. Watch what happens. People start to ask, have you seen X? Have you seen X? No. And then it's like a string of people trying to figure out if X is okay. What's happening? Yeah. And that, we've had multiple instances of that recently. And we've lost people. And that's been really hard for a lot of us. But you have a network of humans. So, continue to
use them. Yes. Use them and be there for them. And
don't procrastinate. Just do it.
I waited. I'm going to say the exact same thing Culture says right here. I waited, and I waited too long, and I could have been in this game a lot sooner than I was doing exactly what I'm doing now. Maybe it might have been a little different, maybe not, but the idea was there for years before I did it. And I should have pulled the trigger, and I didn't. I waited, and then it was almost too late. I want to tell you guys something. It was almost too late. You almost didn't get Loki. If Loki would have waited another month, you probably wouldn't have got Loki. It was right after I started streaming that my father passed away. And I said, I thought about it. It happened on a Friday. I found out on a Friday. And over the weekend, I thought about what I was going to do. And I said, fuck it. If there was anybody out there that would have been like, boy, get on that horse and you keep riding, it'd have been him. Straight military guy, Navy guy, 30 years in the Navy. This man, eyeballs could have been bleeding, and he'd be like, oh, got to get ready to go to work. And nothing would stop him. If I would have waited another month, I might not be here right now. So don't wait. Don't wait. Don't procrastinate, just like Culture said. I want to thank Culture for being on here this morning. Thank you so very much. And everybody is thanking Culture in the chat. Arwen Avalon says, thank you, Loki and Culture. So big thank you to Culture this morning for coming on and doing this. I love shows like this. These are my favorite shows. You're muted.
No, I'm not. I'm just not talking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, I'm just, dude. Hey, come on. I mean, it's like I said. I mean, you're one of the mainstays, the staples. You're one of the pillars for us. So yeah, no, I'm just thankful to be here and get a chance to hang out with you, because we don't get to do it as often as I'd like. So.
No, we don't. Absolutely not. Thank you, everyone, for being here today. Thank you so very much for the super chats. Thank you for all your messages. Thank you for the wonderful conversation this morning. I absolutely love to get to do these Wednesday streams, and I rarely have a guest on, and it is great when I have a guest that is as cultured as Culture Casino.
I love you, man. You're so fun.
Everybody take care. Be excellent to each other. Always speak friend to enter. Make sure you're subscribed to Culture Casino. Make sure you are subscribed. I know we've had links going out, but make sure you're subscribed. Take care, everybody. Have a great one.
See you.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.